I was talking fantasy football with my friends the other day.
Alan, Josh?
Wow. Look who's back. Where the hell have you been? At home, sitting in your asses?
Go away now, Josh. Actually, my name is Alan.
You're a dorky white kid with a Cub Scout bandana on his head.
Bravo.
Echo.
November.
Tango. On. Football.
Catchy tune, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That should get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Mesmerized by these handsome guys here.
And us.
Yes, right?
Oh, welcome back to Bent on Fantasy Football. I am your host, Alan Bentley.
I am your co-host, Josh Worley.
And we are going to have some fun this week. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We've got WOMF back this week.
WOMF is back.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, that's Wheel of Misfortune. And we're going to have some fun with that one. But let's jump right into our beers.
Okay.
All right. Let's, I think you went first last week, didn't you?
I don't know.
I don't either. Or actually, not last week. We didn't have a show last week.
We had 2 weeks ago.
Yes, because somebody's family member had a birthday.
My mom had a birthday. I'm
Somebody
sorry.
got sick. I don't know what it was. But anyway, it wasn't my fault because the dungeon's like right here in my house. So just saying. Anyway, so my beer this week, one draft left. All right, so I've had 2 drafts this year. I've got one coming up on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I just, right before we started recording, I just got my draft pick. I'm draft pick number 5, which is awesome for me.
I really
love
like
that.
5.
It's a 10-team league. My first draft, I was the number 5 pick also. My second draft, I was the number 3 pick. And
We were the number 3 pick.
Yes, my mistake. We were the number 3 pick. So this one, I got number 5. So all 3 of those spots, really sweet spots as far as I'm concerned with the 10-team league and where you're going to draft. So
Okay.
I think we did good. We'll go over our roster and and we'll talk about that a little bit.
When you first held that up, you really scared me. I thought there was only one draft left, as in one beer left. I'm saying we're going to have some problems if that's the case.
Yeah, no, that's not the case.
But
That's not the case.
okay, good. Well, my beer says, "Give us your opinions on our draft," and you can see the logo there. It looks like my beer is sweating a little bit. But we want to hear your thoughts on how we did in our draft.
Yeah, leave some comments below. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
We also want to thank our one of our sponsors. That's Whirly Labels.
Yes.
Fine job on that label that they did there. You can actually see right through it. It's the translucent line of.
We also make clothing too, so translucent clothing.
All right, let's get these bad boys open. So,
All right.
guys, like you do every single week, we want you to sit back, pop open a cold one, and enjoy the show. All right.
That translucent label really added some flavor to it.
It does. I'm sure. It's a masterpiece, my man. A masterpiece. But we do want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, and share. Spread our video out there. Get it all over the internet. We're looking to get 1,000 subscribers so we can do a live. And I can promise you, if and when we do a live, it's going to be a blast.
Yes.
It's going to be a ton of fun. We did a live at Marco's
Vapor. Last year.
Last year, and or not last year. Was it last year? Yeah,
It was the beginning of last season,
yeah,
yes.
beginning of last season. So we had a blast doing that, but we're going to do another one as soon as we can. So get us out there and like, subscribe, and share for us if you would.
Yes, and thank you to all the new subscribers we have. They're slowly trickling in, so getting us to that 1,000 mark.
Yep. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. Gub, what's got us bent? Well, this week we don't have anything to be bent about.
Not really, no.
No. So, there is one thing I do want to be bent about.
What's that, Alan?
I noticed that on ESPN there is a documentary.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
All right. We talked about this before, and I thought it was on ESPN. Anyway, it's a documentary on our favorite subject on the show, Urban Meyer.
I did watch a couple episodes. It's not just on Urban Meyer. I wouldn't watch it if it was.
Got me bent. That's what's got me bent. The fact that you watched it.
It's on that Florida Gators national championship team. But yes, I did watch it, so I'm guilty.
That's what's got me bent. It wasn't the whole Urban Meyer thing. It was that you watched it.
Okay, that's what got you bent.
The only time we mention Urban Meyer on this show is when we do the benties at the end of the year.
Yeah, or when he does something stupid, ropes another person, or does something.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That never happened. But anyway, all All right, so let's jump right into our draft.
Okay.
Okay. So we, again, 10-team league. We had the number 3 pick overall. Now, I'm just going to give a disclaimer right here that Josh was not involved in the draft because another family member of his had a birthday or they were sick or something. I don't know. Something happened.
Family party, you know. I mean, I
Chickened out, whatever it was.
chickened out. Yes.
But anyway, so I did the draft myself, and we kind of differed on our philosophies for drafting, which is probably good that you weren't able to make it because we probably wouldn't be doing this show right now.
Yes.
As much as we'd be fighting, but we did get a pretty solid team in my opinion. But again, we're gonna go through it with you guys, and we want you to put your comments down below and let us know what you think.
Now, is it a PPR or a half point?
It's a PPR league.
Full?
Yep, full PPR
Okay.
league. We have one flex option, but standard across the board. One quarterback starting, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end,
And a flex.
and kicker and defense. So,
Okay. I like the one
pretty
flex.
standard.
A lot of leagues have 2 flex, and I don't really care for
Yeah,
that. It really waters down the pool of talent.
It does. Speaking of watering down the pool of talent, I was talking to somebody this last week who's on a 14-team draft. So imagine, you want to talk about thin. He showed me his lineup. He's got like the 3rd string Bears running back or something. It's just crazy. It's insane. So anyway, getting back into it, let's talk about the first pick, the 3rd pick overall that we had in the draft.
Okay.
This is going to be kind of a shocker for those of you who know my history with CMC, but we picked CMC first at the number 3 overall. I had to only because I wanted to go running back first, and he was the biggest, not only thorn in my side, but the biggest talent available. And
Yes,
best player off the board.
and even though I would have gone receiver first, at that point at number 3, you'd be dumb not to take CMC. I mean, Jefferson and Chase were my first 2 picks, but they went before us. So,
Right.
of course, we're going to take CMC, the best talent available. So, I love it. I love it.
Yep. So, again, we're at number 3, so it went up, came back down, and then at the 2nd round pick, I picked Joe Mixon. I picked this guy, and I know I went stud running back, and we're not necessarily on the same page with that, but the reason I picked him is because of the prolific offense that Cincinnati's going to have. If you can
Yeah.
throw the ball, you can run the ball.
Yeah, and I agree. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I don't understand why he's going in the 3rd, 4th round. He's the bell cow. They have no one else behind him. Chase Brown might come in and contribute if Mixon gets injured, but he's a true bell cow, one of very few out there in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it too. I like that one.
All right, good deal. So going back down and then coming back up to the number 3 pick in the 3rd round, I picked up Josh Jacobs. I had to. I absolutely had to.
Yeah.
We have that flex spot. We have 3 solid running backs, in my opinion. I had to do that.
I think
because
we
it
have
was
3
available.
workhorse running backs too. I mean, not
Yes.
to mention. So I don't really care that we don't have a receiver to this point
Yep.
because we have a clear advantage over everyone in the league, in our opinion,
Mhm.
at the running back position.
Yeah, no matter what happens at this point. And later on in the draft, people are going to be scrambling for running backs, and we can pick up the bones of those wide receivers too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
keep them off of those for a little
I'd
bit.
rather pick up
first.
the wide receivers, not their bones, but
Well, okay.
okay. Anyway.
Moving on. So round number 4 comes around. Now it's time to get a wide receiver. I had to do something here because as the drafting was going, if anybody gets more wide receivers after my pick, I'm going to be in real shallow water when it comes the next pick. So
Yeah.
I went with Christian Kirk on this one.
Nope,
Or,
DJ
I'm
Moore.
sorry, DJ Moore on this one. Guess what the next pick's going to be? Any guesses? You're right. All right, DJ Moore is what I went with on this one, though. There's so much upside to DJ Moore.
Oh, yeah.
There's just so much upside there that I had to take a chance on him. And you look back at his career, he's always had good numbers no matter who his quarterback is. Now he's got a mobile quarterback. He's got somebody who can throw the ball.
He's never had a better quarterback.
Exactly my point.
He had Cam Newton, but that wasn't Cam Newton's prime. So,
That was that 1 year, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next pick, Christian Kirk, as you might have guessed. Now, Josh and I differed on this one a little bit, only because Amari Cooper's still out there.
DeAndre Hopkins. Jerry Jeudy, I would have taken any 3 of those guys above him, but Jerry Judy's hurt. Yes, we know. I'm real high on him, but Amari Cooper is going in the second to third round in a lot of 12-team PPR drafts. Granted, we're a 10, but we both like Kirk, okay? But I would have preferred probably Amari Cooper at that point. But you can't really go wrong with Christian Kirk.
Yeah, and the thing about it is I'm looking for some big things out of Kirk this year. He's got the talent, he's got the speed, he's got everything going for him. He just needs all the pieces around him to fit in.
Yeah, and I think that Jags offense is ready to explode this year.
It is.
So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people really thriving in that Jags offense.
Mm-hmm. And then you want to do the next few picks?
Yeah, I'll do the next couple picks. And then in the sixth, we took Trevor Lawrence, which I love at that pick. T-Law, I think this is year number 3 for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's vastly improved last year. And I think there's big things coming for him this year. I really do, especially with all the weapons they've added.
Yeah, going back to that too, Christian Kirk. We got Trevor Lawrence. Good combination there.
Absolutely.
So, whether we start Christian Kirk or not remains to be seen, but
depends on what happens with Calvin Ridley. Remember, he's been out of the league 2 years. I don't know why he's going in the second, third round, like in drafts. So
now the other thing too is. At this point, my mindset at this point is we've got 2 wide receivers, we got 3 running backs. We need to balance the team out a little bit.
Absolutely.
Quarterback started going a little bit sooner than what I had hoped. I was kind of expecting this because the people that I drafted with, some of them had auto picks on, and some of them are like new to.
I hate auto picks in the 5th round. Come on, maybe 14, 15, but there's no way.
I hate auto picks. Period. I don't care what round it is.
Okay.
So just saying. But anyway, so at this point, I don't know what's coming up. There's no necessarily rational thinking going on for the auto picks after that. So I was looking at quarterback. I thought, okay, we've got to get a quarterback at this point. Get this team balanced out a little bit. So
I think T-Law is going to be a top 6 quarterback this year. I really do. So, and I like it. And then another guy we talked about, I think this is a great deal for the 7th round, and that's Kyle Pitts. Now, I wouldn't take him in round 4. I wouldn't take him in round 5 or 3, where some drafts he's going. I don't mind taking him at 7. I mean, there's not really much. He's the only person really behind Drake London in that receiving game that's even going to matter. That's even going to be fantasy relevant. So we'll see if year 3 for him can really produce good numbers.
And I think at this point, like you said, you're number 3. I think this is the point where tight ends start actually coming into their own, start blossoming a little bit more.
Yeah.
So much was expected out of him, like you said. All that time, and then I think it's just taking some time to get up to speed, and I think it's taking some time for him to actually get his footing. I think he'll have a good season this year.
Yeah, I hope so, because we got him.
Yeah,
so
we better have him.
The next guy we like, Tyler Lockett. I mean, Tyler Lockett is consistent, if nothing else. Granted, DK's, he's the number 1 guy there, but Tyler Lockett is going to shine in moments.
Mm-hmm.
He's had monster games,
Yeah, there's going to be times when DK Metcalf's going to see double coverage. When they do, Tyler Lockett's your guy. He's going to be open. He's going to be out there and ready to catch the ball.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
We came back, number 9. Now, Alan's a little higher on this guy than I am. That's DJ Chark. I still like Thielen as the number 1 receiver in Carolina, and I'm really, really nervous about what Bryce Young, his first-year experiment, is going to be. But DJ Chark, I mean, can't win them all. I mean, it's a great pick, and that's what I get for not showing up. I can't complain about it, right? So,
that's right.
DJ Chark. So he's a solid receiver. We'll see what happens. If Bryce Young can really drive that offense like he could the Alabama offense, then there could be big numbers.
I'm telling you, like we talked about this before the show. So I'm expecting big things out of Bryce Young. Now, that being said, I don't say that about quarterbacks very often.
You don't?
Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever said that about a quarterback that I can remember.
Not named Peyton Manning.
Well, even Peyton Manning, his rookie year, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was.
That's right, because he doesn't watch college football.
That's right. Anyway, moving on.
Why don't you take over from here?
So, B-Rob Jr.
Brian Robinson Jr.
Brian Robinson Jr. was the next pick in the next round. It's one of those things. We talked about this also. That backfield could be split.
It could be split.
Like you said, though, one of these guys has the ability, or actually both these guys have the ability to take the majority of the carries in the backfield.
Yeah.
You just kind of, it must depend on, like whoever's going to get the ball in certain situations. We can prove themselves. Well, I'm having a heck of a time talking about
I know.
I'm all excited
How's that
about
different
B-Rob.
than any other week?
I think it was B-Rob. That's what got me.
B-Rob, he got excited.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? That's so cool. I want to be Rob.
But the addition of Bieniemy as the OC, so I mean, that could really shake things up there. That could really add to his value.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's going to be, like I said, it'll probably be split, but he might be one of those players that we need on a certain week. We get some value out of him for that particular week, even if it's just a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. And then coming back in the 11th, we took a backup quarterback in Tua.
Yep.
I have no problem with that. Tua's a great quarterback.
What's his last name?
Tungavailoa.
Yeah, Tungavailoa.
Tungavailoa. Okay.
Got it. All right, cool.
He does this all the time. But having Tua as your backup, you're in a great position, I think, quarterback-wise. He's got the talent around him. Not to mention, they may add Jonathan Taylor. We'll see where that goes in the coming days.
Jonathan Taylor's not going anywhere. Adam Schefter said that
Today.
Yes.
Okay, well,
So
Adam
he's not
Schefter
going-
is God, so
Yes.
I guess he's not going
Well,
anywhere.
he's God too.
God too.
Yeah. So.
God be.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, he's not going anywhere. So we know that for sure.
But that's going to be an explosive offense. So, I mean, if something happens, T-Law goes down or on a bye week, did you check to see if they have differing buys? Or?
They do have different bye
Okay,
weeks,
good.
Yes.
So we can plug in Tua there.
Drafting 101, Josh. Drafting
yes,
101.
Yes, so that's not a bad call. I like Tua in the 11th round.
Okay, and the next guy is the guy that you were higher on. You wanted to get him earlier. He fell, so I got him. Adam Thielen.
Okay.
I think there's going to be some good things happening with Adam Thielen too. He's not in his prime anymore. He's a little bit older for a wide receiver, but he can get open.
He's still like 20 years younger than us. So.
Yes, we're extremely old for wide receivers.
Yes, yes.
Matter of fact, I don't think there's been a wide receiver. We'll have to do some research on that.
No.
Anyway, moving on. The next pick I went with that Cincinnati offense. I had to get a little piece of that somewhere. Other than Mixon, so I got Boyd. I got Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd is great, man.
Yeah,
There are going to be weeks where he's really overshadowed, though, by Chase and Higgins, but as a flex spot, he can put up big weeks.
Yeah, now, the thing I like about Cincinnati is that we've mentioned before on the show that all three of those wide receivers could potentially be number one wide receivers if given the opportunity. Obviously, Jamar Chase can, and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are in the same boat. They could both be number one receiver. But, which is another reason that I was not looking at wide receiver early in the draft.
Okay.
The ball gets spread around, especially in Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, I think, is a little bit more of a risky pick than Jefferson. Not that he's not going to produce, but in comparison to other players that were available.
Okay, I get it.
Okay. And then the next two picks,
We don't really need to really talk about
they're
these.
the most important picks in the draft, Josh. Let's not discard these guys.
We're not discarding them, but we don't need to talk about them. We can mention their names, and that's about it.
We got to give some love to our defense, which is Philadelphia, and our kicker, which is Harrison Butkicker.
Yes, Butker. The only thing I'm worried about with Butker is if they score 6 touchdowns, he only gets 6 points. So.
But he got 6 points.
That's true.
And he has the occasional 50-yard field goal thrown in there every now and again.
Yeah, that's true. If you're in a league where you get bonuses.
Yes, and we are.
Yeah, so that's great. So there's our team. We want to know what you guys think. Give us some thoughts.
Yeah, let us know.
My overall thought on the team is I think it's a great team.
What would you give it for a grade?
I give it a B.
A B? Okay.
A B. I mean, we're second to none in terms of running backs.
So we're going to hang on to this until the end of the season. We're going to come back and revisit this, okay?
Right.
So,
what would you give it, Alan?
So, I mean, I drafted it, so it's probably an A+.
A+.
But
all right.
if you're going to actually ask me what I think it is, I'm going to say it is a B+.
Okay. I think it's a great team. Like I said, we have a clear advantage at the running back position. I think we're a little weak at receiver.
That's my only hiccup, yep.
Okay, but we have room to grow. We can pick up the bones of those receivers. So
now the other thing too is that as we get into the season more, and we're going to need a tight end obviously for 1 week, we can sacrifice some of these guys at that point, or I'm sure one of our backups might get injured, not our quarterback backup, but
I hope
one
not.
of the other backups might get injured. So we have a little bit of leeway there. It gives us some room to play.
Yeah. So I'm optimistic going into this year.
I am too. I haven't looked at all the other teams in the league as far as their rosters go, because when it comes to draft day, I don't really pay attention to what they're doing necessarily as far as
And
like,
you shouldn't. And you
individual
shouldn't.
players.
A lot of people fall victim to that, and they end up with players they don't need just because they follow somebody else.
Right. So I didn't really look at that too close. And I didn't look at it after the draft either. So we'll have to take a look at that and when we get some free time and
What's
kinda
free
do it.
time?
Yeah, time that you don't really have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Duh. All right, so we want to bring back something. Where is my WOMF?
WOMF is
Our
here.
WOMF.
Our WOMF.
Our WOMF. So for those of you who don't know, this is WOMF, Wheel of Misfortune.
Not the word misfortune, but miss.
Yes,
Yes, she's a contributor to our show.
Yeah, and by the way, Misfortune supposed to make an appearance again soon. So
She's got a couple Halloween costumes. I know she just recently purchased. She said she was going to get some. So
yep.
we'll have to see her in those soon.
Yes. So every time we've seen Misfortune, she's always had a costume on here. It's kind of interesting, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see what she's up to.
I wonder if she's like the Joker, had like a acid accident or something
I mean, like Aaron Rodgers.
Not psychedelic acid, like corrosive acid.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So what we're doing with WOMF here, ayahuasca. What we're doing with WOMF here is we put some categories up there. We're gonna make predictions going into the season.
Yep. We're gonna let WOMF decide what we predict.
We're gonna let WOMF decide what we predict. So I will be writing these down just
Now,
so we know.
How are we gonna do this? We're gonna do all five for each of us, or are we just gonna do?
Let's
like
switch
3 or
off.
4? What do you mean? We're gonna do like 3 or 4? We didn't talk about this. We didn't really plan.
Let's.
this
How about
very
we do
well.
3 each?
3 each? Okay.
3
perfect.
each.
Perfect.
Right,
Perfect.
and I'll let
Alright.
you do the honors since I put together this beautiful board here. Beautiful
and
wheel.
And a fine job you did. I don't know if you guys noticed that I was tightening it just a few minutes ago, but other than that, a beautiful job Josh did here. So, but actually, you know what? The little fly nut there goes in the back, and this goes in because it's decorative. So, anyway, moving on. I'm gonna spin the Wheel of Misfortune. Oh wow!
I think you need to loosen it up, dude. See, I had it
Are
right.
you saying she's not loose?
Oh my God, shut up.
Come on now. All right. Let's see. What do we have here? I can't read it. It's backwards in the camera. Here, let's
Rookie
see.
of the Year offensive.
Rookie of the Year offensive. Oh my gosh. What are my choices?
I think there's one clear-cut guy that stands out to me.
Man.
Well, or you could. There are 2 of them actually. So it's at one position.
I'm not one of them, am I?
You're never one of them,
Okay,
Alan.
so that narrows it down. Let me see.
Not offensive. You're the best offensive person every year.
That
So
is true. I am pretty offensive. I'm gonna go with Bijan Robinson.
okay, I was either thinking Bijan or Gibbs.
Yeah, I gotta go Bijan. I'm gonna follow the hype on this one.
Yeah, I think you really have to at this point.
Let's see, is she loosened up a little bit? Is that better for you?
It's better. I'm gonna
Fine.
spin it this way though,
Okay, you
just to
spin
get
it however
that
you want to.
mojo out of there.
This is your show. You do it however you. Oh,
Ooh, it's orange.
Bears orange?
What is that? Oh, receiving yards. Who's gonna lead the league in receiving?
Are we talking
Receiving
AFC,
yards.
NFC and AFC?
NFL.
Okay, perfect.
Receiving yards. It's got to be one of 3 guys. I mean, it's got to be either Chase, Jefferson, or Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill had some monster yardage games last year. I don't think, besides Waddle, there's not really anybody there. Cincinnati has a bunch of weapons, and so does Minnesota. So I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to have the most receiving yards.
All right.
Even though I like Jefferson and Chase above him as far as overall fantasy points, I like Tyreek Hill.
All right, I'll take that.
Okay.
All right, my turn.
Your turn.
Hey, that does spin a lot better. Thank
It
you,
does, yeah.
Thank you. Oh,
See?
did I get the other orange? I
You
did.
did, got the orange.
It is. Oh, of course it is.
Is that the one you wanted?
Bears win.
Oh, I wanted that one too.
Haha. All right, let's see. 16-1? No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna be realistic here. I'm gonna say 10-7.
Okay. All right.
So,
I
10
was
wins.
thinking right around there too. I'm thinking they could take
10 wins.
Okay.
I think that's a fair move forward for the Bears.
Okay.
All right.
What about the Bears versus Mini Ditka? What do you think?
Huh?
Remember the guys on SNL? They'd be like, Mini Ditka 52, God 3. The super fans.
Yeah.
All right, guess you had to be there.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to spin now.
I was there.
All right, that's a green.
Boy. Oh, a Packer green. You had a Bear orange. And
That's
Packer
not a
green.
Packer green. That's like a baby poop green.
Yeah, Packer green.
Yes, okay. NFC champion.
Ooh,
Okay.
interesting.
You can't throw Philly out of that mix. I mean, especially, they're not really losing much. San Fran, their defense is going to be up there, even though they're in a really, really, really bad division. I think Dallas may have a resurgence. But I think whoever it wins that NFC East is going to come out of the NFC. I really do. Whether it be Philly or the Dallas. If I had to pick one, you got to stick with the hot hand. You got to stick with Philly.
All right.
All right.
Write it down.
It's written down.
Now you want the correct answer? Never mind. Forget it. We'll talk about it later.
All right. What do you got?
All right. Did I spin it this way both times?
I don't know.
I'm going to spin it this way. Yeah, that's really awkward. So I didn't do it. What are you doing to the wheel here?
You spun it so hard. You're trying to get
I
it to...
I had the other Green Bay green.
Yes, you did.
All right. Oh, it's offensive MVP, isn't it? Okay, I got it. All right, cool. Offensive MVP. Ooh. That's for either, is that for like NFC, AFC? Is it
That's for NFL. You know how they
NFL?
usually have one
Okay.
offensive MVP and then they have a defensive
I can
MVP?
tell you it won't be Aaron Rodgers.
I hope not.
It won't be. Stay away from him in your drafts too, by the way. Man, that's a hard one.
Now, if he wins it, I'm going to be pissed at you.
Man. What catches me here is the MVP is a lot of times determined by how successful the team is, not necessarily whether they're the most valuable player to the team or not.
Right, and you know what position pretty much takes it home almost
Yeah.
every single year.
Quarterback every
Right.
year. Yeah. Man. I just don't think the Bears are going to have enough wins to be considered for
Fields?
Justin Fields to be in the talk.
I wish that would be the truth, but we could go Colt McCoy out in Arizona with my Cardinals.
yeah, we could, but we'd be wrong.
Yeah, we'd be wrong. Way wrong.
We wouldn't be. I would be. Let's see. Man, this is a tough. Why'd you give me the tough one? All right.
I was going to give you 3 times 3, but then you would take a lot longer on that one than on this one. So
It's definitely not going to be Jared Goff. I know that. It's not going to be Bryce Young. I know that. You know what? I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with my man.
Patty?
Huh?
Patty Mahomes or Burrow?
Ah, man, Burrow.
Okay. I was thinking you were thinking Burrow, so
Yeah, Burrow.
I love that. I have them picked as the AFC champs this year. I really do.
Yeah, I think
Whoa.
what happened? What'd you do to the?
Did you loosen it too much?
No.
This is why we can't have nice things, okay?
This is exactly what we can't have nice. Here, let me hang on. Let me test it. All right, still. How about now? There you go.
All right, so I'm going this way.
Within specs. Well, not that way. It's not.
Oh, we got pink. Okay.
Hey, we didn't even double up on anyone. Perfect.
What does that say?
It says pass yards.
Passing yards. Okay. Passing yards. If it was just quarterback, number 1 overall fantasy quarterback, I probably would have said Mahomes. Passing yards, I'm going to say Justin Herbert. He's got to throw the ball a lot of times this year. He's not too off of 5,000.
You realize it's probably going to be Burrow because he's going to be the MVP.
Yeah, because they're going to blow everybody out and then they're going to run the ball the rest. No, I like Justin Herbert for passing yards this year. I don't think he's going to be the top fantasy quarterback. I don't think he's going to be the offensive MVP, but I think he's going to have to throw a lot. and he's efficient when he does. So
All right, let me ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot here because we didn't talk about this.
okay,
Who do you think is going to be the top fantasy quarterback this year?
it's going to be Hurts. One of two people, Hurts or Mahomes. I like Hurts because he's got more weapons around him. The departure of Tyreek Hill from Kansas City, and we've talked about it in the past. He didn't really hurt his
been
fantasy production.
2 seasons, and we can't stop talking about
But-
how he left Kansas City.
But that receiver room right now is in shambles. You got Kadarius Toney hurt. Sky Moore, he looked good in the preseason. They don't really have a go-to. And I think that defense is also going to be good in Kansas City, although Phillies is too.
Sleeper alert, real quick. Sky Moore. Keep your eye on him
Yes.
as the season goes on. Big time sleeper.
I'm gonna say Hurts.
Okay.
Okay. So number one fantasy QB for Josh is Hurts.
All right. You want to hear mine?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to go against myself and not say that it's going to be Burrow.
Okay.
Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
All right. All right. My number one is going to be Josh Allen.
Okay. He was 2 years ago, so he could come back into form.
Yeah, I've been looking at his stats over the last couple years, and I think this is going to be a big year for him. In my opinion, if I could have got him as my quarterback in any of my leagues, would have been done.
Yeah, but he went probably third round or second round. He went way too early.
Third or fourth, something like that. Yeah. Most of them. So.
And neither one of us like to take a quarterback that early.
No.
Although I
not
might
really.
switch it up in my draft coming this Sunday.
Well,
So
Well, and yeah, it depends on who goes. I mean, if a couple of quarterbacks go off the board, you don't really want to get stuck with somebody that's going to be horrible. You know what
No.
I mean? Or with the Giants. Oh, wait a minute, same thing.
but there are those sleepers like Geno Smith we talked about a couple weeks ago, who was the top 5 QB last year, added weapons. So
Another one to keep your eyes on as far as quarterbacks go is going to be Russell Wilson. He's got a new head coach who likes to throw the ball. Obviously,
who is his head coach, by the way?
It's that guy that what was his name in with the Saints? Peyton.
Yeah.
Peyton.
And you've
Peyton
seen what
Manning?
Peyton,
No, Peyton.
Sean Payton,
Walter Payton? No, that wasn't it. Sean Payton. I got it.
and
I
you've
got
seen
it.
what he could do with those Saints offenses. So
Yeah, and
it could be a big resurgence for Russell and the Broncos.
I think it will be. I think it will be because they're going to use Russell Wilson more to his talents as opposed to.
I really hope
forcing-
so.
Yeah, I think so. But all right, cool. Any questions about my picks? Because I mean, they're all going to be perfect.
Shit.
I didn't think so. All right, perfect.
No questions, Your Highness.
All right. No, wait a minute. You're higher than I am, so.
Oh, because I'm taller than you.
Oh, that's true. You are like 8 feet tall. Anyway.
I was going to say I wish, but no, I don't wish, because that would suck.
So we want to remind you guys once again to like, subscribe, and share. Please do that. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers. Again, we want to do a live, and to do a live on YouTube, we have to have 1,000 subscribers. So please get us out there. We promise you, all the work that you guys are doing to get subscribers and bring people in will definitely pay off when we do our live. We're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, and we're not forgetting that, guys. We really appreciate it. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know what? Next week is the first week of the NFL season. So
It
it's
is.
1 week
It
from
is.
tonight. We're recording this on Thursday night, so 1 week from tonight when it starts. Man, I'm so.
we're going to do one more show before that, guys.
We
So,
are. So we're gonna let Josh go ahead and change his picks if he wants to, because he's gonna realize that they were the wrong picks, just like he does with every draft.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess there's nothing else really to say except get bent.
On fantasy football.